The Union Cabinet has approved free booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines at public health centers for adults for 75 days starting tomorrow, the 15th of July. This is aimed at improving the third dose coverage, and the drive will be held as a part of the government's Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations to mark the 75th anniversary of India's independence. So far, less than 1% of the target population of 77 crores in the age groups of 18 to 59 age group have been administered their precaution dose, their booster dose. However, around 26% of the estimated 16 crore eligible population aged 60 and above, as well as healthcare and frontline workers, have received the booster dose. My colleague Manohar Kestri joins us on the broadcast. Manohar, good news coming in for a lot of people who've been waiting actively for their booster doses. Earlier, the government had reduced the time between your second dose and your booster dose from 9 months to it is now 6 months. So if you got your second dose 6 months back, you're now eligible to get your booster. And another set of good news coming in that they've made the booster dose free at all public healthcare centers for the next 75 days starting tomorrow.
ठीक है, बिल्कुल देविका, आपने सही कहा। ये देशवासियों के लिए, हेल्थ वर्कर्स के लिए गुड न्यूज है, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने कल ट्वीट करके जानकारी दी है कि कल की कैबिनेट की बैठक में फैसला लिया गया है कि आजादी के 75वें महोत्सव जो मनाया जा रहा है उसमें 75 दिन तक यानी 2.5 मंथ्स तक कहा जाए तो ये फ्री प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाए जाएंगे। क्योंकि सरकार ने जब प्रिकॉशन डोज की बात की थी लगाने की, तो उन्होंने प्राइवेट सेंटर के लिए कहा था कि वहां पर लोग पैसे दे करके लगा सकते हैं, लेकिन अब जितने भी गवर्नमेंट वैक्सीन सेंटर है वहां पर प्रिकॉशन डोज फ्री में लगा सकते हैं। क्योंकि जिस प्रकार से मामले बढ़े हैं, अगर हम आज की बात करें तो आज कल की बनिस्बत अराउंड 4000 के ज्यादा मामले आए हैं, 20,139 मामले आज आए हैं और 38 डेथ्स हुई है। तो ऐसे में आप समझ सकते हैं कि सरकार किसी भी तरह का रिस्क नहीं ले सकती है, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने कहा है कि अगर कोविड से लड़ना है तो वैक्सीन ही असरदार है, और राष्ट्र को स्वस्थ अगर बनाना है, अगर नेशन को हेल्दी अगर बनाना है, तो हमें ये तमाम जो डोजेज हैं वो डोजेज लगाने पड़ेंगे। इससे पहले अगर लास्ट वीक की बात करें तो केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय ने प्रिकॉशन डोज के जो ड्यूरेशन था जो 9 मंथ से 6 मंथ कर दिया गया। क्योंकि जिस प्रकार से इंटरनेशनली अगर बात करें, WHO भी कई बार कह चुका है कि जो ओमिक्रॉन का नया सब वेरिएंट है जिसको हम कह रहे हैं BA.2.75, इसको खतरनाक माना जा रहा है, क्योंकि भारत में भी कई मामले इसके आ चुके हैं। और ऐसे में भारत सरकार किसी भी तरह का रिस्क नहीं लेना चाहती है, क्योंकि मामले अप एंड डाउन हो रहे हैं। अगर हम देखें 20,139 केसेस जो आज का विद इन 24 आवर्स आया है, तो ये अपने आप में एक हाइप है केसेस का। तो ऐसी स्थिति में सरकार और देशवासियों के लिए एक अच्छी खबर है कि प्रिकॉशन डोज कल से लगने शुरू हो जाएंगे तमाम वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर में, और इसका फायदा लोग उठाएंगे और केसेस में कमी आएगी। क्योंकि 5 ऐसे राज्य हैं जहां पर मामले बहुत ज्यादा आए हैं। लगातार हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री भी इसे लेकर के रिव्यू मीटिंग करती आई है, केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्री भी इसे लेकर के कई बार कह चुके हैं। कल भी उन्होंने कहा है कि आप जो है मुफ्त में ये वैक्सीन लगा सकते हैं 75 दिन की। जी,
well, that's great news. Our colleague Sujata, I believe, is also joining us on the broadcast. Sujata, if you can just take our viewers through a quick COVID update as you know, from where you are. And of course, like I said, we're discussing the good news that's come out for the next 75 days starting tomorrow. The government, the centre has approved that the COVID booster dose, your third dose, will be free at all public healthcare centres.
Well, we see that the COVID situation in Maharashtra right now is at a surge, wherein in the last 5 days we see that there was an increase of around 70% COVID cases, and yesterday there were 2,745 COVID cases that were recorded and 10 fatalities were also recorded. So now we see that since the death figures are now in the double digit, and in the last around 3 days at least 15 deaths have taken place in Maharashtra due to COVID, which is why we see that now the the government is on this is actually alert, and they have come up with this good news wherein we see that this was actually a very important step of providing these free booster doses to the public between the age group of 18 to 59, and that too for the next 75 days, marking as the 75th years of independence for India. So this is actually a great move that has come up, and also this will be helpful because we see that less than 1% of the 77 crore population between the age group of 18 to 59 have actually administered the precautionary dose, that is the booster dose. And this survey shows that since the reason behind them not taking the dose was somewhat around the government, which was not able to connect to the people for them and convince them to take the booster doses. But now that they have done this, I think there will be more awareness amongst the people in regards to the same. And if we talk about Mumbai, then of course the cases were on the rise, wherein the health experts, they had to say, also government officials, that there can be several small waves as well when we talk about COVID that can come up in regards to these. So it was very important to get this move in, wherein now there will be more awareness because people can contact their nearby government COVID vaccination centers and get the booster dose administered for themselves. When we talk about Mumbai, there are several such government campaigns that are being held, be it the Bandra Kurla complex or even in Goregaon. There are these vaccination camps that are being arranged, wherein people, they can contact there and they can get their booster doses administered. So this in itself is a great move, because at this point in time it is very important to curb this spread of COVID that we see is on the rise. In the last 5 days, the rise in 70% of the cases, and also the fatalities are also increasing. On one end, we see that the recovery rate is somewhere still on a positive note, but to avoid the small waves that has been said that can arrive in the future, and to of course curb the spread of COVID that we see, this was a very important step that has come up from the government, and I think for the next 75 days this will definitely make a difference in it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.